Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw.
And I'm Sean Liang.
And the music you're hearing as the intro and outro for the Kulturecast moving forward is provided by Wovoka, a sludge metal band out of LA, and the song you're hearing is Lament. Before we talk about Never Say Never Again, which is the last Sean Connery James Bond film from 1983, it is one of two unofficial James Bond films, that and the original Casino Royale. Sean,
yes.
Have you been watching anything?
I just watched. What did I watch recently? I just watched one of those new horror movies that's on Netflix now.
The Danish Girl.
No, that was scary
one of two horror movies.
It's two.
Oh, you said horror, not horrible movie.
I was going. That's right. That is true. What did I say? I watched this movie called The Hallow, which was it was fun. It was like, I think it was like an Irish horror movie. It just came out. It's okay. It was not bad. It was one of those movies I tried to kill time with my mom, you know?
I don't know if I've heard of it.
I'm trying to even remember how to explain what happened. I was
must not have been very good.
Yeah, I mean, it was spooky. It was like a classic horror movie in the middle of the woods sort of thing, you know? It was, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying it or anything. Wait until it happens upon you.
Well, it's on Netflix, right?
I think it's on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so
well, that's good.
It wasn't too bad, you know. It was.
What have I been watching? Oh, I don't think I've watched anything really. I don't think I've touched upon how great Making a Murderer is.
Everyone's talking about that. I watched the first episode.
And how you need to watch
Exactly. It's like they're starting revolutions already. It's like,
yeah, right. It's all about I don't know. All of a sudden, it's social justice warriors are becoming a documentary style.
Exactly.
Trying to right the wrongs. I mean, it's great. I like it.
Right. And I had just watched Paradise Lost last weekend.
Oh yeah, did you watch all three of them?
I just watched this. It's funny. I just watched the second one. My friend's obsessed with them, and she introduced it to me, and I really enjoyed watching it. The second one. I have to watch all.
So have you seen the first one?
No, I have to watch it.
Oh, that's really a weird one to start.
I know. It's really weird.
I mean, if we're talking about these kind of true crime documentaries, Making a Murder is really good.
Yeah.
Paradise Lost, and then the subsequent second and third film are really great. The Jinx on HBO is probably my favorite of the trio. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's really good. It's kind of like Making a Murderer. The Staircase is supposedly really good. A friend of mine suggested that to me. I haven't seen it yet. And the thing that kind of sparked all of this really is not even a film. It's a serial.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if you've listened to that yet.
I don't think so. No.
The serial podcast. Is obviously,
no. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what sparked this whole thing. this true crime craze. But if you haven't seen any of these, you need to check them out, or definitely listen to Serial. I think Serial is probably the best of these kind of true crime things.
That's right. They're bringing Serial back, aren't they?
Well, Serial season 2 started, but each season has nothing to do with the previous season.
It's just like they're both like incidents like this. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, the new one is about Bo Bergdahl, the U.S. Army soldier who abandoned his post and was kidnapped by the Taliban. So
that's right.
Yeah. But I haven't watched anything really. That's just I've forgotten to mention that Making a Murderer is like the best thing I saw on Netflix in a while.
Yeah. It's like a big deal. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Never Say Never Again. I know the last film we talked about was Dr. No, which came out in the 60s. We're skipping to the 80s so we can get Sean Connery's kind of James Bond tenure out of the way.
Yeah.
Never Say Never Again was released in 1983. It was directed by Irvin Kershner. The story behind why this film kind of exists the way it does outside of the Eon Bond canon has to do with the way the original book was written. The original book was written by Ian Fleming and 2 others, and then Ian Fleming took those ideas and created Thunderball. And in doing so, there was a huge legal battle, and so they allowed them to make this Bond movie outside of canon.
Again, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Never Say Never Again. And the title comes from Connery saying, "I'll never play Bond again,"
which is pretty great. I read that and I was like, oh, because I've been saying.
And then his wife was like, "Well, never say never again."
Exactly. See, that's what I've been saying. I've been saying never say never again. But after reading that, I think it should be Never Say Never Again.
Well, I think it's a catchy as fuck title.
I agree. You can sing it in the song too.
Yeah. But the IMDb synopsis for the film is: a Spectre agent has stolen 2 American nuclear warheads, and James Bond must find their targets before they are detonated.
Oh, you're Mr. Bond. I believe I'm having you in half an hour.
Oh, splendid. Your room or mine?
Heavy, Mr. Bond?
You're marvelously well equipped.
Thank you, James. So are you.
Good to see you, Mr. Bond.
You hadn't seen this film?
No, I haven't.
I had never seen this film.
Oh, you haven't seen this one either?
No, I'd never seen this before. I actually remember the DVD on my grandparents' shelf at their house. They owned this movie, and I never saw it.
Oh, that's how come? Because you've seen all the others, right?
Yeah, this is the only one I had never seen, which I was really excited to watch.
Yeah.
So before I give my thoughts, what are your thoughts on a gray-haired Sean Connery being the sexy man again?
It wasn't too weird because we still see like George Clooney around playing the sexy man, and that kind of works. You know what I mean? Like it works for its own thing, and I really liked how like they talked about him getting old. It was funny. Like for the first act, they totally set up the fact that he might not make it out of this, So I thought that was pretty cool. I think it worked well. I thought it was a little campier than Dr. No, which I thought was awesome. I kind of really liked that. And I could see like still more imagery that I saw like the Dr. Evil cat. Like that was the best. I was cracking up.
I having never seen this before, going into it, I really had no idea what to expect. Yeah. And when I watched it, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was like, everything that Spectre, and Skyfall have tried to touch on, like, oh, you're getting old, James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Or, this is, you're past your prime, or you're not useful anymore. And it does that better.
Yeah, I think that specifically stood out to me, and I thought it was a really clever use of the actor.
And man, Connery doesn't miss a beat. I mean, he's fucking 53 in this movie.
Yeah, man, he is
old in this movie. He is graying around the temples.
He is. It's like unapologetic about it.
But I think that's the best thing about this movie.
I do too. I think it adds so much more to his character already that it's just great. I mean, it's like everyone wants to see their cool dad kick ass.
Their cool dad. Cool dad Bond.
Yeah, dad Bond.
I mean, it kind of is dad Bond in this movie. I mean, aside from the fact that he literally fucks every woman he comes across. Again.
That's a given, yeah.
He fucks everyone at this hospital, from the nurses to like even just random women.
Oh yeah.
Which is very which is very Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, is it real? Okay, I'm excited to get to those.
Because Pierce Brosnan like humps everything that has a pulse in the Pierce Brosnan era.
Okay. Yeah, I was halfway surprised he didn't like bang the first girl in the first sequence. Then I realized that she was a test.
Well, and I think that I don't know why, but there's something about Sean Connery that is so believable as the older Bond.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't really have to suspend disbelief too much to believe that he's just going to be like all over women.
Oh no, not for a second. No, for some reason, still like when he walks into that what is it? That's that lounge or that sauna. I don't know what it's like, a bath house. Mm-hmm. And like everyone wants him, and I believe that. He walks so he's so sexy, whatever.
And towards the end of Roger Moore's tenure, especially in A View to a Kill, you have a hard time, and when we get to that film, you'll see it. You have a hard time believing the sex appeal.
Right. Okay.
Of him. But I honestly don't have a hard time believing the sex appeal of Sean Connery's kind of aged, wizened Bond.
Exactly. There's something nurturing about him in this movie that kind of stands out a little more. I mean, it was definitely there in Dr. No, and I'm sure it was throughout, but it's even more pronounced in this movie, I think, and it kind of makes him more endearing.
And he's also got that, really great just kind of swagger about him.
Of course, yeah.
Still, he has not allowed his age to hamper the kind of swagger and bravado. I
was actually shocked that he was 52. I didn't know that until afterwards. I didn't think he was that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think of it that way.
Yeah, and when you kind of know the history behind this movie, that this was kind of this weird story that they wanted to tell that was a retelling of Thunderball.
Right.
You really kind of understand how strange of a movie this is and how great it is that it's a success.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that Sean Connery is in 2 Thunderball movies as James Bond.
Exactly, the same.
Because he's in the original Thunderball from 1965, which was the 4th Bond movie. And then he's in this movie, 20 plus years later, a little less than 20 years later as, aged Bond.
Yeah.
But this film isn't technically considered canon.
Right. Okay.
MGM ended up buying the rights to this film. I want to say in the last 10 years. I guess it was 97 they bought the rights to this film. And now they can distribute it as a James Bond adventure.
Okay.
But before that, they don't even have the theme song for James Bond in this film.
Yeah.
They don't even have the traditional barrel open.
Yeah, it's a 007 instead screen.
Right? Which is weird, but it really sets this film apart in a good way.
It does. I think it's still true to the original brand, but it in a way, without being the original brand. You know what I mean? It very much resonates in a fan's mind, I would imagine. To me, it looks like the same thing to me, just a little different.
Well, and the tone, and I think that the tone is there too.
Exactly.
Right? I don't know how you feel about that, kind of with your experience with Bond being not as, not having as big a background as Bond, and say I do, having watched all of them, but do you feel like it has the same tone of what we've seen, what you've seen so far?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was comparing it to Dr. No a lot. I was like, okay, well, there are definitely some similarities here, but it's almost like, it just changed with the time, for one thing. Like, there was so much more. It was definitely easier for me as a millennial to watch, you know what I mean? Like, because the pace is a lot faster. There's a lot more going on, and I already know the characters now, and so that kind of helps a little bit. And Sean Connery really, really, really nails this thing down, and it feels like a James Bond. I mean, he just is James Bond, it feels like a James Bond movie.
And I don't know if this film being kind of outside of canon and everything else, I don't know if this film would have worked as well if they hadn't gotten someone who already played Bond to be Bond in the film.
Exactly. Because to me, almost at that point, I wouldn't even really, what I'm trying to say is that Sean Connery really is what makes it a James Bond movie.
No, you're totally right. And I think that is kind of the thing that is the greatest success of this movie.
Yeah.
Is that because you have someone who is established in the fans' minds as James Bond, there's not a whole lot of stretching that needs to go to be like, okay, he's believable as Bond.
Right. No matter what we see Sean Connery in, he's always going to be James Bond first,
And for me, having watched these couple early Bond films, he's kind of quickly becoming, the front runner for my favorite of them all so far. Because there's just the swagger about him as the character. It's I don't know. There's just something about Sean Connery. It's like, yeah, Sean Connery.
Right. I mean, there's something about the role. I mean, the fact, like we talked about this with Dr. No and how he created this character, and it just stuck so well that almost, anything else is almost just a really good variation of him,
Well, and I think that everyone else tries to bring their own thing to the table with Bond, but for me, everyone's just kind of doing a riff on Connery.
Of course, yeah, he laid down that groundwork for sure.
And he did a really good job of being that character.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, I feel like, and not having seen Connery's Bond for so long, I'd almost kind of forgotten about him as Bond.
Yeah.
But now it's like, man, like everyone else kind of looks like imposters.
I know, right?
Yeah. What did you think of the kind of the plot of the film with Spectre stealing the nuclear warheads and then kind of them placing them in specific spots to blow up the world?
Yeah, it kind of, again, it's funny because the villain's motives are always interesting, especially, I guess, with Spectre, with the whole revenge and just their whole philosophy is interesting to me because I don't really know what it is they're getting at, what they, you know what I mean? But it still builds up this great, to me, my one thing with this movie is that it was a little too long. And that just might be that I'm not used to it. But
what's the longest? I mean, it's much longer than Dr. No.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I really liked it. I didn't have a problem with, I don't know. It seems I was more sort of focused on the glamour of it. I don't know. I didn't have a problem following the plot at all. But like I said, I think it was just dragged out a little bit. There was a false ending that I thought it was totally over and was done. And Largo just got away. But I don't know. Even his the finale, that it was a kind of low key again. They kind of reminded me of
it's pretty anticlimactic. The way that the Largo, played by Klaus Maria Brandauer, gets killed.
Exactly, and juxtaposed to Fatima's death, which is phenomenal. I loved that.
Her death is one of the highlights of this,
was so happy.
Fucking film.
It was so good. I love that character. She was one of my favorite. I love that villain. And she, that was such a satisfying death. It was so good.
She gets a exploding pen shot into her, and then she starts laughing because Bond doesn't detonate it, and then he blows it up. And then I think his line is something to the effect of, it still has the kinks in it, or still, right. The kinks still haven't been worked out.
Not a fully effective.
Yeah, right. It's such great. That's what I miss with the new Bond films. I miss that level of humor and camp that is Bond.
Yeah. Especially in this one, and I think that's why I loved that character, the villain, so much. Fatima was so animated and it was very campy, but it was so lovably campy. Even the first assassin that they send to eliminate Bond when he's spying on Fatima, that fight was so dragged out, but I loved it. And that character was so big and over, bigger than life.
It kind of reminded me of it's kind of a random kind of association, but in the Tom Jane Punisher movie, when the Punisher is fighting the Russian, he's kind of being thrown through walls and thrown through stuff. It's just there's no way that Bond is going to beat him.
Right.
Except for when Bond throws his own piss in his face.
And it was it had some power because it really brought him to his knees.
I guess burned his face or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
Acid or something, but it was just
right. It's he's just throwing his piss in his face. You think that the reveal is going to be it's acid or something, right. And that just is James Bond urine.
Yeah. I really just wanted the bad guy to just run around and say ew. You know what I mean?
It smells like pee pee.
I know. But yeah, I loved
it. That's something reading up on this film. That's something that I've read. Some people don't like about this film is that it is a little on the campier side, has a little bit more humor to it.
Yeah, but I think, that's what I loved about it. And they know what they're doing. They knew it from the beginning. Even Sean Connery knew. That's the joke of the movie is that they never thought he was going to do it again. And it's kind of fun that they take it so lightly because the fact that they just remade this movie, I mean, that's kind of like, it's a little transparent. It's a little bit awkward, you know, but the way that it kind of makes fun of itself and the fact that like they make fun of Bond for being old sort of, and that he never like passes these tests that they put him through, and that he should be dead after most of these encounters, but he still makes it out, you know, he's got that swagger.
Well, and with the, you know, especially with the ending of the film, you know, you look at it and you see James Bond kind of riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know, for me, as a fan of James Bond and seeing this film now, I would like to believe that this is you know, after James Bond is said and done, which will never be the case because it's James Bond, that this is how the Bond story ends, with him just being like an old horny dude who like just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Just like walks away. He's like walks away from everything.
He quits at the end. He's like, I'm not going back.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I would like for that to be how the Bond story ends.
Yeah.
Is him just being like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, like never say never. Okay.
Again.
But you know, with that ending, that's what they were going for, is like, you know, Bond is done, which was kind of a nice change to see from the other, you know, films where it's just like, oh, and then he's got to go kill somebody else.
Exactly.
All right. What did you think of Klaus Brandauer as Largo and kind of some of the other players in the film, like Kim Basinger as Domino?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I really, I thought Maximilian was it's frustrating because I really wanted his death to be more satisfying because he was such a jerk. Oh my gosh. Like that scene with him and Kim Basinger at the piano. It's like creepy. It gets creepy at the end when he walks away and he's like, I'll cut your throat if you leave me. Like that was so cool. It was such a great villain and like totally, he looks like he's kind of got like a baby face in this movie. And it's kind of a great, I guess, contrast. And it's really fun to see. I mean, I felt like I've only seen one other Bond girl, but it was cool to see a much more vulnerable kind of this girl who's just stuck with this asshole. Like he's such a scary guy.
And he kills her brother.
That's right. And that's like such when she finds out. But like you feel really bad for her in this one, you know? At least I did.
One, and you know, it's kind of hard to talk about Largo without talking about Kim Basinger, but he did a good job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him. You know, I can't remember the last time I watched Thunderball, so I can't compare it to the original film, the original Thunderball film. But I think it's a really great, it is a really interesting kind of villain because he's a bad guy, but he's not like, you don't see him like shooting anyone on screen.
Right.
He's just kind of like a sniveling little businessman weasel.
Exactly. It's kind of, I mean, he uses Fatima to do all his dirty work.
Right.
You know? So, which is really, I kind of love that. You kind of feel he's even scummier, you know?
Well, and, you know, the kind of the big missed opportunity for me in the film is the lack of Max von Sydow as Blofeld. I mean, you have Max von Sydow, one of my favorite actors, and he is in the film for what, 4 scenes?
5 minutes. Yeah, it's like not even that much. And he is a very big, I mean, that's someone I recognized. And it's a great character. Oh my gosh.
And I was just like bummed out that, you know, Max von Sydow of all people is just playing this kind of Blofeld who's just kind of in the background.
Yeah, right. He's just like, and that's the thing. Like he is, to me, he could have been like the ultimate villain. I mean, he's the owner, like he is Spectre, you know?
Right. Well, and, you know, coming off of Star Wars, where we're not going to spoil Star Wars, but I was excited to see him in Star Wars, and then he has as big a part in Star Wars as he does in this movie.
I know.
Right? I mean, he's in it about as little.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Right? I was pretty bummed out that you know, because that was one of the things that I knew about this movie was that you had, you know, the legend Max von Sydow acting as you know, as such an iconic villain as Blofeld, and then he's not even in the movie enough to matter.
Yeah, right. I know. He's just kind of there to move the plot along.
Yeah. One of the things that really stuck out to me was Rowan Atkinson in this movie, Mr. Bean.
Oh my God! Right, I saw him on the IMDb page, and I was like, "Oh my God, what?" I mean, it was kind of strange. Like he wasn't comedic enough to be comedic relief, but I mean, his name alone was hysterical.
It's Nigel Smallfaucet. Get it, dude? He's got a small dick.
He got Smallfaucet.
Like that's like typical James Bond. Just so like, oh God.
Oh man.
Small faucet. Get it? Because he's got a small dick. That was like That was like Austin Powers level of shit.
Exactly, it was. But you know,
yeah, I mean, it's fine, but even I was like, ugh, like, all right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I was kind of, all right, well, fine. I guess you could get this one. I did like Bernie Casey though as Felix Leiter.
Yeah, me too. I really liked him.
I had only seen him in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and I remember him from Revenge of the Nerds. Where he plays like the dean. Where he plays like the dean, not the dean. He plays like the head of the black fraternity that they're trying to join.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that. That's funny.
But I whenever I see him in anything, I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like this is. Like he's a really great actor.
He is, and he's like a great buddy. Like he's a great buddy, for Bond, and he's a great shot. Thank God, because before it was like he barely, he can do. And Dr. No, Leiter doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well, and in this movie, he actually has a pretty big part. Big, I guess, bigger than Felix Leiter did in Dr. No. But
exactly.
we talked about why that was the case.
Yeah, right.
Because he was too cool to offset Connery's cool. But I think it was really good. I liked him.
He was
and
a great character.
It made me want to see him more in future films. But obviously, because of the way that this film got made, that was never going to happen. Right. Yeah, that's the big bummer about this movie, right? Is like, it kind of exists in its own weird sphere.
Yeah, and it does feel.
Bond.
And it, like you said, it does feel unfinished. We still have, like with Blofeld still going around. Like it feels like we didn't get to see what this was leading up to.
No, we really didn't. There's nothing that comes after this.
Right.
So unless you kind of look at this as canon, which I don't think you can.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
There's no way to fit it into the. There's no way to fit it into the canon.
Oh man.
Right,
that's like the bummer. Yeah, that's. Oh man, it's like I when I was working in LA for a while, I would watch pilots, and I would watch pilots of TV shows that didn't get picked up. And I remember one pilot in particular was so good, and I was so sad I'd never see the rest of it. That's just what this is. Oh, it's just a taste.
Yeah, it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
No, it's a really good take on an aged, getting up there in years Bond.
Yeah, definitely.
And unlike Dr. No, this movie actually has a lot of action in it.
There is a lot, yeah.
There's a lot of big set pieces. At one point, James Bond is driving around on the highway in like a motorcycle that has like jet engines on the back.
Yeah, that's great.
There's a lot of really great action.
I was dying for the underwater scene, like when he's being chased by the sharks. I loved that. That was so cool. It's a great set piece.
I was like, okay, there's like this shark chasing him, and James Bond doesn't just like stab it.
I know, but he's eco-friendly.
Oh, is that what it is? The eco-friendly James Bond?
Until he drops a mast on the shark, but you got to do what you got to do. I just really like that there were sharks with antennas.
I just like that there was actually like action set pieces in this movie, because that was the one thing that I felt Dr. No, as good as it was, that was the one thing that I felt Dr. No was lacking, was any kind of big kind of set pieces. Because now obviously Bond is known for that. But this film has the action set pieces and the kind of interesting character development of an older Bond.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, him wearing that toupee. Sean Connery has worn a toupee every time he was Bond. You know that?
No way, I didn't know that.
Either a dry toupee or a wet toupee for when he was like in water or stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great little cookie.
That's a great toupee, is what that is.
That's what it is.
Dude, that's like pro level toupee right there.
It totally is. Oh, man.
It really is. His toupee that he is wearing is a good looking toupee.
Yeah, man, it's pro.
So you know who directed this movie, correct?
Yes. This is Kershner, right? Yes.
Yeah. Which is awesome, because you kind of the shot composition and the style is distinct.
Yeah.
Very distinct for who he was as a director. He directed Empire Strikes Back.
That's right.
Everyone always forgets. Oh, it's George Lucas. Well, yes, but no.
But no, all the way.
Right. And I think that the gravitas that he brought to this film, which was his first film after Empire Strikes Back, was Never Say Never Again. Yeah, right. it really shows the quality of this film, the kind of the pedigree behind this film. You got Connery as Bond, you got Irvin Kershner directing, you have Douglas Slocum on cinematography, which another one of the absolute best cinematographers ever. Indiana Jones, all three of them. The original Rollerball, Jesus Christ Superstar. I mean, all kinds of really high profile films.
This movie was definitely set up for, a really good chance,
Yeah, it wasn't made by a bunch of schmoes in their backyard saying, "Oh, we can make this Bond movie and get away with it. Let's just, half-ass it."
Exactly.
So, I mean, they could have.
Right, they totally could have, especially because of its situation.
Look at the new movies.
Oh my gosh, that's real.
We'll get there. We'll get there, Sean. Need not worry. Need not worry, my friend. We'll get there. Oh, yeah. Well, skip it or watch it, and best performance.
I have to say, you got to watch this one. This one for sure, especially because it's non-canonical. You want to see. I think it's worth a watch just for that alone. And I would say best performance for sure for me was, aside from Sean Connery, Barbara Carrera as Fatima. My favorite. Oh my God. I wanted to hang out with that girl.
Getting blown the fuck.
Yeah, blown. Just nothing but her shoes.
And Sean Connery is just doesn't give a shit that he literally just detonated a human being.
Oh no big deal. No big deal at all. I
mean, to be fair, she was trying to kill him, but still, his reaction was like, "Fuck."
I know. So good. While she's forcing him to write that she was like the best lay he ever had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's like, "I'm the number one screw you've ever had."
That's right.
Like,
and I want you to write it down.
What a strange request.
It was, and if she hadn't asked him to write it down, she might still be alive.
It's just so strange. Like, say I'm the best sex you've ever had. Like,
right before you die.
Like, what?
That kind of says something about his character, though. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's like everyone wants to be with this man. You know what I mean? It just adds to that allure that he has.
Oh yeah, no, you're totally right. So I completely agree. That just makes Bond, Bond. This 50-year-old dude being with Kim Basinger, who's like 20 something when this movie came out.
Oh, God bless. Hey, it's happening with Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, right.
It has always been like that.
Well, this was Kim Basinger's third film, too, on top of everything else. So yeah. So it's kind of I guess, made her known, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it made her known, but it definitely put her on the map. I mean, starring opposite Sean Connery in a Bond film. It'll do that for you.
Oh, that's real.
Let's see. For me, it's a watch, obviously. It kind of stands alone as this weird non-canon Bond film. I guess it might be moving towards canon since it was bought by MGM a couple of years back. But I think it's an interesting film. It's good. It's, it's campy in the way that the later Sean Connery films are campy. Best performance, for me, it's going to have to be Bernie Casey as Felix Leiter. Yeah, he was really good. Yeah. I really wish that there had been more of him. But,
I wish there could be more of him too, man. Oh.
Right, yeah. He could have really had a place in any of the later Roger Moore Bond films.
He was like a fun sidekick. He was really cool.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
What do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm terrible at this. Okay, I'm going to throw a wild guess. Let's say 87.
63%.
Damn it, I switched. Dang.
While the rehashed story feels rather uninspired and unnecessary, the return of both Sean Connery and a more understated Bond make Never Say Never Never Again a watchable retread.
Yeah, it is watchable.
Yeah, it is. I personally think it's more than just
I
watch.
agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. What do you think the audience score is for the film?
I think the audience score is going to be higher. Let's see. You said 63 for critics?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with the 80s. Let's do 83.
38%.
No,
out of 52,000 reviews.
This just means I know nothing about people.
I mean, it's more like we just know nothing about film.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And people's reactions to film,
which is kind of a bad sign for me.
Well, hey man, there you go. But yeah, 38%. Let's see some of the reviews for the film. see if there's any easy to point out. 1.5 stars from Chief Films. Why?
That's it?
Yeah. What was the point in doing this? Sarah G, 2.5 stars. I feel like people were maybe expecting more than what they got.
Okay.
0.5 star from Brian C. Well, that was a thing that happened that probably shouldn't have. I don't know. I think that's a little harsh for this movie.
I was gonna say, I mean, unless you have strong opinions about like Thunderball or like the original.
All right.
You know what I mean?
If Thunderball is like your the original is like your fucking favorite Bond movie,
right, then you're gonna be upset.
Because you can watch either one technically.
Right.
Well, before I talk about next Monday and Thursday's Kulturecast, Sean.
Yes.
You want to plug something?
I wish I had something good to plug right now. I've got a show coming out on Vimeo soon, which I will be happy to announce once I know when that's going to happen. But for now, as always, just follow me on Twitter, Seanifer, and on Facebook, I'm Sean Liang.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. Check out cultureshocked.com if you haven't already. Go read our movie reviews and listen to some more Kulturecasts. We normally don't just talk James Bond, I promise. Next Monday, we're going to be talking about On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the only Bond film to feature George Lazenby as Bond. And then next Thursday, we're going to jump right into the Roger Moore era of Bond with Moonraker, the only Bond film where he goes to space. So that's a thing that happened. So make sure to check that one out.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind the scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.